If you're in your 20s or 30s, there is a very real chance you're either doing much better than you think or much worse. Because when you actually look at the data, income, savings, debt, net worth, the financial reality of the average person is very different from what most people assume. Today, we are breaking it down. Most people assume they're somewhere in the middle financially. Not rich, not broke, just normal. But the problem is, nobody actually knows what normal means. We compare ourselves to friends, to coworkers, to Instagram posts and YouTube videos, and that creates a completely distorted picture of reality. Because when you strip away the filters and actually look at the numbers, the average person's financial situation is not impressive. So, instead of guessing, today we're going to look at the real data. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly where you stand. Let's start with income. And this number is lower than most people think. When people talk about money online, it sounds like everyone is making $100,000 a year. But that's not reality. According to the latest data from US Bureau of the Labor Statistics, the median full-time income is around $60,000 and $65,000 per year before taxes. Now, here's something important. Median does not mean average. Average gets pushed up by very high earners, CEOs, business owners, tech executives. Median simply means the middle. Half of people make more than that number. Half makes less. So when you hear 60K, 65K, that's what most full-time workers are actually earning. And remember, that's before taxes. After federal taxes, social security, Medicare, and possibly state tax, that 62 might turn into something closer to 48 or 52 take home. That's the real number people are living on. Now compare that to what you see on social media. Luxury apartments, new car, travel every few months. It creates the illusion that everyone is financially ahead. But the truth is much more normal. Most people are earning solid, but not extraordinary incomes. And here's the key lesson. Income is not the same as wealth. You can earn 100,000 and spend 105, or earn 60 and build real assets over time. So, income shows what you make. Wealth shows what you keep. And that difference changes everything. Social media contrasts social media makes it seems like everyone is winning financially. You open Instagram and see someone your age driving a new car. You check TikTok and someone is talking about their passive income. You scroll YouTube and a 22-year-old claims they made 6 figures this year. It slowly starts messing with your head. You begin asking yourself questions you don't say out loud. How are they affording this? Am I doing something wrong? Am I failing behind? But here's what most people don't realize. You are comparing your real life to someone else's highlight reel. You don't see their debt, you don't see the monthly payments. When you actually look at the national data, not opinions, not influencers, not flex videos, the financial picture of the typical person looks very different. Most workers are earning moderate salaries. Many households have little saved for the future. A large percentage carry consumer debt, and retirement accounts are often far smaller than people assume. That doesn't mean everyone is struggling, but it does mean the image online is heavily distorted. So, in this video, we're going to remove the filters. We look at income levels, saving habits, debt statistics, and net worth benchmarks. By the end, you won't have to guess anymore. You'll know whether you're building real financial progress or just keeping up appearances. And once you see the numbers clearly, you can finally decide what you want to change. This is where things get uncomfortable. When we look at retirement savings, the numbers are honestly shocking. Around 1 in 4 adults has no retirement savings at all. And even for people who do have retirement accounts, the balances are smaller than most expect. For Americans in their 20s, the median retirement balance is only a few $1,000s. In their 30s, is often under 20K. Even people in their 60s near retirement often have less than 100,000 saved. Now, let's break that down. There's something called the 4% rule. It means you can safely withdraw about 4% of your investments per year in retirement without running out too quickly. So if someone retires with 100,000 saved, that gives them only 4,000 per year to live on. That's not financial freedom, that's survival. And here's the real risk. People are living longer. Many retirees will spend 20, 30 years not working. That's a long time to fund with small savings. This is where compound interest changes everything. If you invest 500 per month, starting at 25, earning around like 8% per year, you could end up with roughly 650,000 by age 65. Start at 35 instead. You might end up closer to 340 or 400,000. Same monthly investment, huge difference. Because in investing, time matters more than money. And most people start too late. This might be the most expensive mistake the average person makes. Credit card debt doesn't look dangerous at first. It's just small purchases, a dinner here, new clothes, flights, subscriptions. But the average household carries around 8,000, 10,000 in credit card debt. Now, here's the real problem. The average credit card interest rate is around 20% or even higher. Let's do simple math. If you owe 9,000 at 20% interest and only make minimum payments, you could pay thousands of dollars extra over time, sometimes double the original amount. That means the bank makes money while you stay stuck. And here is the brutal contrast. If you invest your money wisely, you might earn around 8% per year in the stock market over the long term. But if you are paying 20% interest on debt, you're not growing. You're moving backwards. It makes no sense to invest while carrying high interest credit card debt. The interest is eating your future faster than investments can build it. So, what's the solution? There are two main strategies. Debt snowball, pay off the small debt first for quick wins and motivation. Debt avalanche, pay off the highest interest rate to save the most money. Both work. The key is commitment, because once you eliminate high interest debt, you stop leaking money and finally give yourself a real chance to build wealth. Income lies. Net worth tells the truth. You can earn a high salary and still be financially fragile. Net worth is what actually measures your position. It's simple. Everything you own minus everything you owe. Assets include savings, investments, property, businesses. Liabilities include credit cards, student loans, car loans, mortgages. What's left is your real financial score. Now, here's what's interesting. Net worth changes dramatically. By age, people under 35 often have relatively low net worth, sometimes under 20k. By their 40s, 50s, it typically increases significantly. But here's the catch. Averages can be misleading. The top 10% of households own a massive portion of total wealth. That plus the average higher than that most people actually have. That's why looking at median net worth gives a more realistic picture. And the big lesson: status symbols don't increase net worth. Assets do. A finance car doesn't build wealth. Investments do. So instead of asking, how much do I make? Ask, how much do I actually own? Now, here's the real question. If all this information is available, why do most people still struggle financially? The answer isn't math, it's psychology. First, there is something called present bias. We naturally value rewards today more than rewards in the future. Spending 200 now feels good. Investing it for 20 years feels abstract and distant. Then there's instant gratification. One click, one tap, one swipe, you can buy almost anything immediately. Savings requires patience. spending requires nothing. Another major factor is financial illiteracy. Most schools don't teach investing. They don't teach compound interest. They don't teach how debt really works. So people repeat what they see around them. And that leads to short-term thinking. Many decisions are made month to month, not decade to decade. Finally, we live in a powerful consumer culture. You're constantly told to upgrade, to reward yourself, to keep up. When everyone around you is spending, discipline feels abnormal. That's why the average person stays average. Not because they can't do better, but because their environment is designed to keep them distracted from long-term wealth. After seeing all these numbers, you might feel behind. But here's the truth. The bar is actually very low. Most people save less than 10% of their income. Many carry high interest debt. A large percentage don't invest consistently at all, which means something important. You don't need to be extraordinary to get ahead. If you simply save 50% of your income, avoid bad debt, invest consistently in low-cost index funds, and increase your income strategically over time, you are already outperforming the majority. Not because you are lucky, but because you are intentional. Wealth isn't built through dramatic moves. It's built through boring consistency. The average person drifts financially. If you decide to be deliberate, you automatically move ahead, and that should feel motivating, not overwhelming. Now, here is the part most people never see coming. There is one financial mistake that quietly destroys people in their 30s. Even if they earn good money, even if they are interesting, and most don't realize they are making it until it's too late. If you want to avoid that trap and learn how to build your first 100k step by step, watch this next video right here. Because what you just learned only works if you don't sabotage it. I'll see you there.